So where do I start? Hey guys, I'm Zach Sykes at Homestead & Co. And during this season or sessions of talking about real estate investing, the next thing I wanted to hit with you guys was where do we start? You know, I get questions from all the time from our new agents, from our clients that want to invest in real estate, and they say, hey, where do I start? What do I do? The answer to that question is, it depends. It depends on a lot of different things. First thing I'd recommend you do is if you have not yet watched our intro to our top 5 strategies or top 5 strategies for how to invest in real estate, go back and watch that one to kind of give you an overview of some strategies we like to use or some strategies we suggest. Today I wanted to dive down and say, hey, which situation makes the best sense for each person, right? How does that work for me? Which one should I start on? Based on this scenario, what should I do? So where you start depends on where you are and what your goals are, where you want to be. So where are you? Are you somebody that has been a professional for many years and has a good nest egg and a decent amount of money that wants to invest? Or are you really young in your professional career and don't have much work history yet, or much cash saved up, or much income coming in yet? You know, how do those guys start? So there's like several different ways to get started, and I want to kind of go through those and say which one works the best for, or which ones we'd recommend for each person or each different scenario. Now, I've talked about this in the past, and one of the easiest ways to get started in real estate is the house hacking model. And honestly, that's how we got started investing in real estate. You know, my first house I bought and rented out rooms to some roommates in college, and all of a sudden we're living almost free, and the house was getting paid for by roommates in college. It taught you a lot about how to manage tenants, taught you a lot about how to manage the finances, take care of the homes, that sort of thing. And it's a great learning experience. So if I want to get started and my goal is to, let's say, have long-term cash flow, like a rental property or buy and holds, then I'd recommend a house hack. Now remember, on an owner-occupant loans, we can go down for most people as little as 3.5% down, 3.5% down for an FHA type of loan, or a 3% down conventional. And if you're a military or if you buy in rural areas, we even go down as low as 0% down and get in without any money out of your pocket to start this real estate investing trajectory. And the key here, guys, is you're going to buy that house. You're going to buy it with the intention of turning it into a rental property eventually, and you're going to live there for a year. And after that year is up, you can go buy another house with that another similar down payment, low down payment loan option, and turn that previous one into a rental. You already know everything about that house. You already know it's well maintained. You already know it's not gonna have many issues. When you buy it the first time, you buy it with turning into a rental in mind. So we care more about what it's going to rent for in the future and less about how does this work for my family and I. Do I like the colors? Do I like the finishes? More on a personal level, we're looking at it more from, hey, how is this going to rent out in a year from now? Then we turn around and do that over again and over again and over again. And all of a sudden, these properties are stacking up and are starting to cash flow. Guys, one of the reasons it's really important to start that rental process early is that a lot of lenders won't count your rental income for your debt to income ratios unless you've been a landlord or a real estate investor for several years, typically around 2 years. It really helps your financing out and your ability to borrow money if you're able to start that clock with real estate investing early, right? Get that started early as you can, get that first rental check coming in as early as you can so you can start that process. One of the best ways to house hack with that low down payment is look for a multi-family property. This is where, if properties that have 1 to 4 units, so less than 5 units, so maybe it's a duplex or a triplex or a quad, you can buy that same property with a 3 to 3.5% down payment and have it be a multifamily and go ahead and start having tenants pay you right away. Here's the key though, you have to live in the property for at least a year. So let's say you put that 3.5% down on the $250,000 property, and you're putting your $9,000 to $13,000 down, whatever it is, outside of your down payment plus your closing costs, right? All of a sudden, you automatically comes with a tenant next door, and maybe they're paying you $1,000 to $1,200 a month, and that significantly offsets your payment, and you get the cash flow coming in right away. I guess that's one of my favorite ways to get started house hacking is buy that multifamily and live in one of the units. Start that cash flow coming in right away. I love that way to get started. Another way that I like getting started if I don't have much money up front, and my goal isn't necessarily long-term cash flow is to make more money now, is to either do a live-in flip or a partner flip. There's a lot of folks out there that have money to invest, and yet they don't have the time to go find a deal or run a project. And so they would be willing to partner with somebody who found a great deal and wants to run a flip. Now, what happens a lot of times in a situation like this is a young real estate investor trying to get started finds a great deal. Here's the key: it has to lead with a great deal and have enough meat in the bone to make it worth it to everybody to invest in this property. Let's say you find a property they're asking $100,000 for it, and after you put in $30,000 or $40,000, it's going to be worth $200,000. So, but you may not have the cash to do it. What do? We go partner with somebody who does have the means to purchase that property, and you do, as a young investor, do all the work. You manage the property, you hire the contractors. Something goes wrong, you either get the guy out there to fix it, or you go fix it yourself, whatever it takes to get it done and turn that property quickly. And when you turn that property, let's say you make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, you may just split that evenly. So the guy that didn't do any of the work got half of it because he had the money, and the guy that did all the work got half of it because he did all the work, but he didn't have the money. They both needed each other, and they split that deal. No matter how you want to get started in real estate investing, guys, there are two things that if you focus on, you're gonna have to do no matter what. What do I do first? Where do I start? If you do these two things, everything else gets easier. If you do these two things and you make a mistake on a rehab, it's okay, because there's room for it. If you make a mistake on a rental property, it's okay, because there's room for it. What are these two things? The first one is start with a deal. The cheaper you get that house, the better deal you get on that property, the multifamily property, your house, or small multifamily, the more room for error there is in the deal. And if you need to bring in a partner, the more room there is in the profit to make it worth a partner to partner with you. The more money you can make somebody, the easier it is to partner with somebody and get a loan and get that deal done. The second one that's going to help make everything else exponentially easier is probably one of the most mundane ones. It's one of the hardest ones to execute. It's one that takes the most commitment. It's one that it's hard to do, and yet if you do this one, you can make more money per deal if you don't have to partner. You're gonna get better financing. You're gonna have better options for financing. You're gonna get cheaper financing because you're gonna be less risky. What is this one? There's no magic bullet here. It's go make more money at your regular job, whatever that is. The more money you make, if you show you make a lot of money, you be making it consistently, a banker or a lender is gonna be much more likely to give you more money, better loans, and more favorable terms because you are a lower risk to the bank, or you maybe you're a lower risk to your private money investor, whoever that is. The less risk you have, the less you need them, the better terms you're going to get, the more money you can make going forward. That's what I love about this industry, because you're in a position where you have 100% control over your income. So if I know I need to go make a bunch of money this next couple of years to save up some money and show some income for our bankers, then I can. I love commission sales because the harder you work, the more money you make. You get out exactly what you put into it. So I want you to think about this. If you need to go make more money, are you in a position that you have control over your income? If you work harder, do you get paid more? Are there incentives? Are there bonuses? If you're in commission, hey, how do I go make more sales and earn more income so I can go invest that back into real estate? Guys, early on, what I learned, at least for me, was that it was more efficient and more effective to go make more sales and save up more money rather than try to make a lot of low offers to try to make up that money. I could find a deal faster by paying a little bit more for it, by having more money. So by spending time working and making more money, was able to get a deal faster than trying to put together that impossible deal. So I'm able to acquire a lot more property that way a lot faster by just making more money at your regular job, guys. And that makes everything else incredibly easier. So however you want to get started, right? I want you to figure out which one makes the most sense for you and then do those two things. Start looking for great deals and keep a focus on growing your income and making more money on your regular job. That way you look much more appealing to your lenders or partners, whoever's gonna be in the deal with you. Hey guys, I'm Zach Sykes at Homestead & Co, and thanks for watching. If you were interested in more of that commission type, or you wanna grow your commission, you're not sure how to do it, or you wanna get into it, never been in it before, reach out to us. We're happy to sit down with you and explain how that works and guide you through that to put you in a position where you can invest in real estate.